Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news, a daily briefing on stand-up comedy, comedians, and the comedy industry, a sentence the algorithm loves. I've been having fun doing the show lately. I mean, I always enjoy doing the show, but I feel like different names have been coming up, except for me talking about Nikki Glaser every day. But, you know, like yesterday I had just like different people in the mix. That always freshens it up for even me. But let's talk about Nikki Glaser. She was on The Tonight Show because of course she was. Her PR team getting it done. The agents getting it done. America saying, we're done, I think. I don't know. Kind of getting that vibe. Anyway, Nikki Glaser name-dropped Leonardo DiCaprio, as one does. At the 2026 Golden Globes, Nikki Glaser said, what a career Leonardo DiCaprio has had. Countless iconic performances. You've worked with every great director. You've won 3 Golden Globes and an Oscar. And the most impressive thing is you were able to accomplish all this before your girlfriend turned 30, which is a fantastic joke. Well, we learned that Nikki Glaser sent Leo flowers. She told Jimmy Fallon, after I do it, a joke, I always send flowers to everyone that I made fun of that was a good sport about it, which was everybody, just to say thank you, because it's part of why I'm successful at it. The only person who sent something back to me was Leonardo DiCaprio. He sent me 3 baskets of pasta as a thank you. So funny, so good, and part of me was like, does Leo want to smash? Which is just teeing up a joke because, no, Nikki, you're over 30. Conan O'Brien started joking about returning to NBC. Conan was kind of goofing around with the idea that CBS is selling Stephen Colbert's soon-to-be former time slot off to the highest bidder. Conan said, well, wait a minute. You're saying I could go back to NBC? They'd probably let me go on at like 3 in the morning if I bought the time. His producer, Jeff, said, if that. And Conan said, okay, 4 in the morning. I could give the farm report. Can my production company buy the 4 o'clock time slot on NBC and create our own show and sell all that sweet advertising money that would be coming in at 4 a.m.? Conan took that a little further and said, I think I'd be great in daytime. I think housewives would love me. Now, this is interesting. His producer said Conan had that opportunity. Ross reminded Conan, before we went to TBS, we took a meeting with these guys at Debmore Mercury, and they wanted to do a daytime show. And we learned that Debmore Mercury's past and present daytime TV titles include The Wendy Williams Show and Sherry. Conan said, I'd be so lovable and fun as a daytime talk show host. A different producer said, as you've aged, your audience has stayed very young. You have a very young mobile digital-first audience. Conan said, how dare you tell me I've aged? This makes me want to shut down the podcast and the HBO travel show immediately. Because I'm very reactive, I'm launching a daytime talk show. This is hilarious. Conan said, it's syndicated, and yes, it'll do terribly, but we get to own how terribly it does. I'd kind of love to see that, wouldn't you? A late-nighter spoke to Jeff Ross on the side. Ross confirms that the previously unreported meeting did indeed happen. The pitch would have been for Conan to host a 30-minute syndicated show. So it's been coming up on the show lately, the topic of bombing. Boy, listen to this. This is from CNN's America Laughs with Matt Friend. Dude, America did not laugh with Matt Friend. In the Facebook group, Jeff and I were going back and forth wondering if this was an example of the crowd being mic'd or not. And I've gone back and I've listened. The crowd is mic'd here. Off this first joke, you will hear a laugh. It will be the last laugh that you hear. And I also suspect, just having been in studios for 30 years, I think maybe, perhaps, possibly, that's a producer laughing extra loud to goose the room. I've done that personally. I've clapped extra loud to goose a room. And I think that's what's going on here. But here, please suffer with me as we listen to America Does Not Laugh with Matt Friend from CNN, a political comedy special. Oh, boy, listen to this.
I am Gen Z. We cannot go to war. I look like if pickleball was a person, okay? I look like the youngest Kushner brother. I look like I'm in a business club with Barron Trump at NYU. I am not equipped for battle. I had an anaphylactic food allergy as a kid. What am I supposed to fight with? My EpiPen? Like, I'm not afraid of a grenade. I'm afraid of cross-contamination. Not a terrorist, but a loaf of bread. We have no iconic Americans to send to war either, Gen Z. Like, previous generations sent Elvis Presley and Clint Eastwood to war, but who do we have? Benson Boone and Timothy Chalamet backflipping in Iran? My generation, every moment is an opportunity for content. Like, we would do a fit check at the battle when it starts. I'd get there, hey guys, just got to Iran, check it out. Custom camo pants, Zara, yes. Bulletproof vest, thrifted, boots from Shein. It's giving dystopian slay, yes. We would find out we're drafted through an Instagram reel or a TikTok. Like I'd be naked on my couch, doom scrolling. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. You're going to war next week. What is happening right now?
Yikes. Okay, now how can we dust this off? Do you have anything actually funny, John? I do. Mass Live noticed that Mateo Lane had posted on Facebook. Now here, Mateo Lane is saying mean things about Springfield, Massachusetts. Mass Live tells us that the references here are to the Roar Comedy Club at MGM Springfield, where Mateo Lane performed for 4 nights back in 2019. Check your calendar. Apparently, the Roar Comedy Club is a refurbished armory inside the casino's plaza. This is the opposite of Mad Friend. This is funny. I did make an edit here to eliminate a word that rhymes with maggot.
The worst place to ever perform. Is anyone from Springfield, Massachusetts? Okay, let's talk. So, the people are trash, the town is trash, the food is trash, the cars are trash. When the clouds move over the town, they become trash. And I was forced to work in this weird castle they converted into a comedy show. It was also, by the way, all castles are gay. No, am I wrong? Castles are gay. No straight guys like, I want a tower. That is a gay thing. And I loved castles as a kid. I like a lot of books on castles, and they're gay. It's like moats, wizards, secrets. So, anyway, there I am at medieval times, and I'm just... Remember medieval times? What a ridiculous, like, on God. Like, okay, so, I know. So, anyway, there I was, and first of all, there was like 60 people in the audience, and it was this huge room, so just echoey and terrible. I was going to bomb, and no one knew who I was, so I did my stupid joke, right? They're like, Mateo Lane! And I walk out, I'm like, hi, thanks so much, I'm obviously gay. And then this guy just stood up and went, nope, and walked out. I know, which is fine. If you just want to be there, that's fine. But the whole time I was on stage, I just kept thinking to myself, I'm like, what did he think I was going to do? For a whole hour. It's just, thanks so much, I'm obviously gay. Close the doors!
Mass Live MGM Springfield declined to comment on the video, according to Mass Live. They also tell us Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno did not respond to a request for comment about Mateo Lane not enjoying his 4 nights in Springfield back in 2019. Some people in the industry are talking about this email that we got kind of late on Friday from the Netflix Is a Joke Comedy Festival. The big banner says every comedy in every corner of L.A. claim free tickets to 75-plus comedy pop-ups across Los Angeles. Tickets are limited. Reserve your spot today. And from the conversation I'm seeing on Threads, these seem to be well-known Los Angeles local scene shows. And there are a lot of them. For example, Poncho's Comedy Night with Dano Carter. If you want to claim tickets for the free event, that free event is May 4th at 8:30. Boy, John Lovett's Love It or Leave It from Crooked Media, May 5th at 5 o'clock. That has tickets available. The Two Bears 5K, Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer's thing at the Rose Bowl. I can just claim tickets and join that 5K. Dimitri Martin is also a painter at the Fairfax Art Gallery. You can claim tickets to that. And then there's a big and so many more section. So not sure what's going on here. Some people are suggesting that maybe Netflix just wants to take over the city for a little bit. Now, this particular story you're hearing right now, I'm recording on Saturday morning. I've previously shared with you the Deadline noticed that tickets weren't going well. Here's a random show. Shane Gillis and Friends at the Hollywood Bowl on May 6th. That seems like that could be cool, right? Let me pop on here. Yep, I'm on Ticketmaster.com. If you want to sit in Section 5, Row 9, a standard ticket, $59.30. And there appears to be a lot of tickets available for Shane Gillis. Not picking on him, just Deadline had put this on my radar. Let's see if we wanted to see Dusty Slay at the Troubadour, just for a random show to click on. That one is sold out. All right, let's pick one more random show. Let's see how my Flight of the Conchords are doing. Sold out at the Greek Theater. I wonder how that's doing on the secondary market. 2 shows, May 9th and 10th, both sold out. Now, this is interesting. Now, remember I had told you tickets were $610, and I've been making a big deal about that? Now, I'm on SeatGeek here, and I can get into Flight of the Conchords. It'd be sitting all the way in the back, but I can get in for $94. So not $610. There is a $607 ticket available front and center, but you could get into this thing for $125 if you wanted to. Row Double E, 2 tickets for $127, including fees. From Defector. Just a wonderful headline. The headline is, a Rob Schneider comedy show may be long and expensive, but at least it's boring. Let's unpack this. This was one of my favorite things. I tried to get this in over the weekend, but it was pretty busy. I've had this as the lead story in episodes, but let's do this here. This is fun. Defector writes, on the afternoon of April 9th, 2026, partisans of the Alberta separatist movement scored a major endorsement. Rob Schneider posted on Twitter, I officially recognize the new independent nation of Alberta and its separation from the People's Republic of Canada and the socialist morons in Ottawa. Okay. Defector writes, time has not been particularly kind to Schneider's brand of catchphrase comedy. Like a lot of ostensible celebrities in Trump land, Schneider has become more valuable for his political alignment than anything to do with his work. He's like if Kid Rock were funny, except he's also not really that funny. Defector writes, you get the feeling that people pretend to like the material because they align with the guy. So it makes sense that a Rob Schneider comedy concert would also feel like more of a political event than a cultural one. I love this. Defector writes, Rivers Casino in Philadelphia is pretty close to my house. Were it further away, I might have hesitated to go see Schneider perform, but my wife was out of town and I had accrued enough of the casino's Rush Rewards points to earn a free slice of pizza and a bottle of beer, so what the hell? The gig drew a mostly white, mostly male, mostly middle-aged crowd, myself included. Lots of guys wearing golf polos, woven in a range of moisture-wicking synthetics. One man sported the rare double wallet chain, and more than a few with hair gel spiking up the last wisps of graying hair clinging to the front of their domes, wearing sunglasses wrapped around the back of their heads, in case it suddenly got super sunny at 8 p.m. in April in Philadelphia, indoors. Schneider took the stage in a black fedora and a shimmering olive green suit, and saluted the freest country in the world, the United States of America. Defector tells us freedom, in this case, was expressed with a battery of half-form riffs, touching on stock stereotypes and some fresh racial prejudices. Fans of voice comedy were treated to all the hits: Mexican voice, old black lady voice, Japanese man voice, Vietnamese manicurist voice, Southeast Asian or East Indian voice, and of course everyone's favorite, gay guy voice. There were R slurs, F slurs, dusty jokes about tipping. There was nothing about Alberta separatism. The worst Obama impression I've ever heard was followed in turn by the worst Trump impression I've ever heard. Greg Gutfeld's name raised cheers. Robert De Niro's drew boos. To be fair, the Defector guy says, I did laugh precisely twice. Once at a joke about single-use straws, which Schneider pointed out are not actually single-use. You can drink from them and they could choke a turtle to death. Okay, then not bad. Rob definitely told it better. And a second time when a long, boring bit about self-service Korean barbecue restaurants paid off with a punchline about a Korean whorehouse, his words were reminded, where the clientele are invited to do some things to themselves. Still, a pair of chuckles is a pretty pitiable hit rate for a show that stretched to an eternity like 90 minutes, as some in the audience petered out, others carried on full-volume conversations, and some seemed to actually nod off. David Cross says he's not going to appear in any more Alvin and the Chipmunks movies. David Cross has appeared in the first 3 live-action Alvin and the Chipmunks films from 2007 to 2011, so I don't know if there's another one coming. It's been 15 years. You never know. They could reboot it. But anyway, David Cross isn't going to be part of this. In a new interview, he said, I would never work with any of those people again for the rest of my life. They were just so awful to me. I don't know what the deal was, but right from the beginning, I was in London because we've been asking for a year, like, am I going to be in another movie? Because they knew they were going to do a third one. Am I going to be in it? I was in pre-production for a show, Todd Margaret, and I'm there with my now wife and basically living there. We're writing, we're in pre-production. 50 to 75 people depended on me, and the show's going for their jobs, and we asked and asked and asked. We don't know. We're not sure. It could be. Maybe. We don't know. My phone rang. I know that's my manager, my agent, my lawyer, and this is only going to be really good news or really bad news. There's nothing in between. And my manager goes, hey, you sitting down? They're going to use you in the third Chipmunks movie. They need you to get on a plane on January 3rd. This is around Christmas. What? That's in a couple days. It was just crazy. They were doing, like, crappy things on purpose. Out today on the 800-pound gorilla, Lisa Lau. She'll have her debut special, Silky Smooth. It's available for exclusive early access on the gorilla. Silky Smooth, Lisa explores the chaotic stages of adulthood, scheduling fun plans with tired friends, the unfair treatment of single people, being attracted to silly men, and the fear of being a role model to her pretend children. Emil Joachim, remember? He was on SNL. I kind of didn't realize he wasn't on SNL anymore until I saw this article. He got a Netflix special. They're going to tape it in October, premiere date to be announced. He will also be at the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival coming up very soon. From Axios, your home for comedy news. A new Portland dating show uses dogs to make matches. I kind of hit the word dogs there the way Norm Macdonald would have. All right, here's how this works. If you're a Portlander who is romantically and emotionally available, and you have a friendly dog, you can audition for about 20 slots at Migration Brewery at the end of May. Comedian Andy Mann says she is screening out psychos. Here's how it's going to work. You're all going to go to a farm later this summer, and all the dogs will be released at once. Matches are made based on which dogs play and naturally vibe together. 6 people will be chosen to go on film dates. Plus, you'll go under a makeover. Maine said the dates aren't necessarily meant to spark romantic love. It's just 2 people who are meeting because their dogs brought them together. If any long-term relationships come from it, that's awesome. And are you watching the Kevin Hart Funny AF thing? Is that what it's called? John, you host the show. You tell us. I don't know. Kevin Hart comedy competition thing, Netflix. WABE caught up with Daniel Delano, who's one of the contestants. Daniel describes his own comedy as honest, sometimes too honest, conversational style. There's so many great comedians in Atlanta, and for them to pick me, I thought it was really cool. It was an honor. He taped his set for Funny AF in Chicago. He said it was my first time in Chicago. It was cool seeing Kevin Hart there. It was just a really fun experience. I'm doing this because I enjoy what I like to do. I enjoy putting this out into the world. That's why you create what you create. And that is your comedy news for today. I'll see you tomorrow.